Hello everyone, Parallel here, and welcome to Star Trek Online. Hope everyone is having fun with the 6th anniversary event in Star Trek Online, and hopefully you've had a chance to farm up some Omega tech upgrades. In fact, that's what I'd like to do in this video, is to discuss the Omega tech upgrades. I'd like to do a little bit of a guide on how to craft the upgrades and then how to best utilize them. So first of all, let's just quickly talk about how to build them. It's very straightforward. So what happens is, as you are participating in the mini game that's part of the 6th-year anniversary event, the mini game is the Omega Particle Stabilization mini game that you do. And if you're curious about that mini game itself, please check out the previous video that I just did. I'll include a link in the description below. In that video I describe the minigame itself and go through the rewards. But essentially what you get from doing the minigame is these items right down here. You get these Omega traces, slivers, shards, and fragments. And you use these to craft yourself the big reward right here, the Omega Particle Tech upgrade. And these upgrades are really incredible. They are far, far beyond the normal upgrades that you can craft. They're even way, way better than the experimental tech upgrades. So definitely want to get your hands on as many of these as possible during the event while it is going on. And yeah, take advantage of it. So quickly how you craft these. So once you've done the mini game, you've farmed up a bunch of these components, you just basically go into your R&D tab and your DOFs, and you go down here to Special Projects. Now the interesting thing is that the Special Projects tab has always been here all year. It's just that you can only get the the components during the anniversary event, from the Omega Particle minigame. So you craft them just like any other crafting project. You can see here what is actually needed to upgrade all the way up to the tech upgrade itself. So you start out with the traces. You need one of each color to make an Omega sliver. Then you need 3 slivers to make the shard, and you need 3 shards to make the fragment, and 3 fragments to make the Omega Tech upgrade. Basically what that comes down to is you need 27 Omega slivers will upgrade all the way up to a single Omega Tech upgrade. Or if you have like 27 of each of the 3 colors, you can convert those 27 of the 3 colors into 27 slivers, and then those 27 slivers will become a Omega Particle Tech upgrade. So it's pretty straightforward. You just you can actually craft up to 5 at a time of each one, which is handy. So here you can just quickly convert 5 of each color into 5 Omega slivers. And to do that, I believe it's 1 hour 40, so 20 minutes per, so 5 of them is an hour 40. So that's how you do it. You just need to collect these and then upgrade them through the process. Once you've upgraded those to your slivers, you can take 5 slivers and turn them into shards. And then once you've got your 5 shards, you can once you've got your shards, you can craft them. You need 15 shards to make the 5 fragments. And then finally you can come down here and convert your fragments into a tech upgrade. I'm only going to make 1. You can see the Omega Tech upgrades themselves take 20 hours. So be a little bit careful. If you queue up 5 of these all in one job, you're going to be spending almost 5 days waiting for that. I'd honestly recommend, at least for when you actually craft the Omega upgrade itself, I just do one at a time, because you don't want to necessarily have to wait more than 20 hours to do that. Alright, so that's how you craft them, and that's about what you need. Now if there is a limit here. I mean, it all depends on how much you want to farm the event, but I like to farm about 27 slivers per day. And if you score pretty well on the mini game, you can get that pretty easily. Basically 27 games will give you 27 slivers, and then you can also get 27 of each color, which basically amounts to 2 Omega Tech upgrades per day. for a moderate amount of farming. About half an hour to 40 minutes of farming will get you that. And that's about as much as I can stand. But honestly, if you spend hours at this, you could farm up quite a few of these Omega Tech upgrades. But assuming the event lasts about 30 days, you farm up, 1 or 2 per day, you're looking at about, around 60 or so Omega Tech upgrades. So kind of plan around that. You do have a good amount of them, but not so many that you can just throw them away. And speaking of that, since you don't want to throw these away, they are limited and they are very valuable, there are some tips that I can provide that will hopefully help you out on how to best use these. So I'm going to mouse over it here so you can see exactly what the big benefit is here. Now, it is nice that they do give a lot of technology points, but the big thing about these Omega Particle Tech upgrades is they give you a 4 times in quality improvement. And that is massive. If you look down here at an experimental tech upgrade, the normal ones that you can craft, these are like pretty much the best ones you can get, not during the, anniversary event. They only give 12,800 technology points, basically half, and 2x quality improvement chance. So basically, 1 Omega particle, it's basically worth 2 of these, but it's even more than that, and I'll try to explain why. It's having a 4x and the 2,500 technology points all in one upgrade has some very great usefulness. And I guess that will kind of lead into my first tip here. If you want to really take advantage of these, here's what I recommend that you do. You want to start out with a Mark II item that's like a crafted Mark II item. So like here you see I have a phaser beam array Mark II. And you'd probably want to get one that has some good, good mods. At least get a pen on there. Damage X2 is what I have on this one. But spend a little bit of money to get at least 3. You start out here with a very rare. You have 3 good mods. So that's what you want to do. You could get crit D. A mix of crit D and damage is good. At least at this point. Since damage is buffed, since the damage mod has been buffed, it is actually really, really good. Crit D is still very good. Just kind of stay away from critical hit or accuracy, which are both kind of mediocre in comparison. So you have these crafted Mark II very rare weapons. You can pick these up right on the exchange. Just buy them. They're actually a little bit more expensive now. During this event, they go up in price quite a bit. But usually you can pick these up from anywhere about 2 million to 4 million energy credits. And this is what you want to get. Now I'll show you what happens. So let's say I go here and I'm going to upgrade this one. So I right click upgrade. It puts in here. So you can see I have my upgrades here for upgrading this beam weapon. Now I want to show you what happens here. So let's compare. I have the Omega upgrade, the experimental upgrade, and just the normal very rare upgrade. Alright, so let's compare the difference here. Now, slotting this in, you can see it gives me technology points of 25,000. That is about enough, I believe, to get you to a Mark 7, I think. I'll have to double check that. I'll do it here in a minute because I do want to upgrade this. I'm working on a phaser damage set. So that should get you up to Mark 7. And you can see that gives you a 20% chance already, out of the box, 20% chance to get an upgrade. Now, as you know, you get this 20% chance each time the mark of your item improves. You get to roll against this chance. So basically, right here, just doing what I'm doing right now, you have a 20% chance, and you get 7 rolls because this will be enough technology points to get this to Mark 7. So you have 7 20% chances to get a quality upgrade. That is really, really good. And to even maximize this even more, what I also recommend you use is a accelerator. Basically, what you want to use is the major research boost, which gives you another 2x quality improvement chance. Now watch what happens when I slot this in. These again, these come out of the lock boxes, and there you can find them on the exchange. Again, they're fairly pricey as well. A new locks box just came out, so they're not too horrible. Usually around the 2.5 million-ish range. See what that did? 40% chance of a upgrade. And you get that 40% chance, you get that until you run out of tech points. So as you upgrade this item, you can do it again, and for each mark you go up, you get that 40% roll. And if you get this, so like I said, this is enough technology points to get to Mark 7. That is 7 rolls of a 40% chance. There's a very, very, very good chance. I mean, it's almost guaranteed you're going to get at least a ultra rare, and there's even a very good chance that you're going to get it all the way to epic. From this combination, you can go from a from a Mark 2 very rare to a Mark 7 epic, with a very good chance of doing that with this layout. And how much did you spend to do this? You spent the 2 to 4 million on the crafted Mark II very rare weapon. You farmed yourself up the Omega particle upgrade. You've bought another one of these, say for 2.5 million. So let's say you spend about 6 million EC, and you're going to have yourself a epic quality weapon. Now it's going to be at Mark 7, so you'll still have to upgrade it the rest of the way, yes, but you won't have to worry about trying to improve the quality. It'll already be at epic. That is a really, 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 really amazingly good deal. There's no way you're going to be finding a epic weapon on the auction house for 6 million EC. So it's a very, very good deal. And I'm going to go ahead and do this here just to show you how the actual process works. So like I said, you have to slot things exactly like I've slotted here. And when I say apply upgrade, it'll go to the next mark, and it says ready to upgrade. Let's see if we get a quality improvement. No, we didn't get that one. So it's now going up to Mark 3. Let's claim it. You can see it's already still at 100%. I still have the 40% chance, so I can immediately upgrade it to Mark 4. There we go. So it just went to, oh great. So here is the downside. I did get the quality improvement chance. It did go to ultra rare, but as you can see, I got a crappy mod. I got accuracy. That is the risk here. So you do have a somewhat, it's almost 50-50, honestly. Like I said, if you get an accuracy or crit hit, you're not getting an optimal mods. But if you get a, another damage or a crit D, that's still a very good weapon. So I didn't get lucky this time, but let's go ahead and claim it. Okay, there we go. So I didn't actually get all the way to epic, but I did get a... Oh, did it get all the way to Mark 8? Okay, so it does go all the way to Mark 8. All right. So let's try that again. Upgrade the item. Slot in your Mega Particle upgrade. Slot in your 2x quality improvement chance, and apply. Okay, maybe I clicked it too quick there. Wow, that was very, very unlucky. I didn't even get one upgrade. Let's try again here. I mean, it is chance, so... Okay, so a crit D damage too. There we go. Epic, so we got an accuracy damage, crit D2, damage 2 pen. Not a bad weapon at all. Alright. So that is kind of the goal. So as you can see, it is some random chance involved. you are going to want to buy a fair amount of these, you know, the crafted Mark II weapons, just so you have enough stock. And you'll have to do this several times, so you are going to go through the Omega upgrades, you know, at a certain rate. But still, even with all of that, you can see how easy it was to get a Mark 8 epic weapon. That's way, 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 way easier compared to the old method. I mean, the old method is like you'd have your weapon would already be at, let's see, I have one right here. So here I have a weapon already at Mark 14, ultra rare. Let's say I want to upgrade this to epic. This is very, very difficult. See, if I slot an Omega upgrade here, it's only going to give me a 1% chance per, and it's going to give me 11%. So I'm just going to take 10 Omega particle upgrades to max out your tech points, and then it's going to only give me a 10% chance to get to that epic. That's still actually really, really good. I mean, these Omega particle upgrades are so good even for doing, you know, upgrades in this fashion. But as you can see, that is a lot more resources going from a Mark or something already at Mark 14 trying to get it to epic, as opposed to something that's at Mark 2 trying to get it to epic. You can waste a ton. You can go through dozens and dozens of upgrades and still not get, you know, that upgrade to epic. So, and plus, you know, each time you're doing this, you're spending 1,000 dilithium, which can add up really fast. That's why my tip is here to start with a low mark weapon and then use your Omega Tech upgrade along with that. Let's do one more here. Let's upgrade this one. Now, just a comparison, let's say I do the experimental tech upgrades. See, that gives me a 10% chance, and I use this, that gives me a 20% chance. That's pretty good. I mean, this is what you would do normally when you don't have, you know, when the anniversary event's not going on and you don't have access to Omega Tech upgrades. This is what you would normally do, which is not bad, but it's still nowhere near as good. I mean, that 40% chance is just so amazing. It's just such a higher percentage rate to actually get to epic. So now I can just this thing's already epic, so I can just use regular upgrades to get this thing all the way up to Mark 14. And I won't have to go through, you know, the cycle like I was trying to explain earlier of having to dump dozens and dozens and dozens of upgrades into your Mark 14 weapon just to get that 10% chance just to roll to get to even have that chance to get to epic. So this just works so much better. The only downside is, you know, that randomness on that third the randomness you get on that third mod. When you get to epic, it's always going to be accuracy damage mod for the fourth one. So that is, yeah, that is just a good tip. That's not to say, I mean, there's still lots of other good ways to use those tech upgrades. Like I said, even if you have, like, for example, here I have an Elite Fleet Warp Core. Let's say I wanted to get this up to, try to get this to epic. You know, getting 12% and 1% per, I don't know if it's really used that you get 2% per if you use the acceleration. Again, these are kind of expensive. 2.5 million. Is it worth that extra 1%? I guess that's up to you. But this is still actually really good. I mean, you can use 10 of these, and that would give you, or put you already at a 10% chance. You know, that would save you a lot more than if you're using experimental upgrades, which barely give you any percent chance to increase. You have to dump dozens and dozens and dozens of these in order to get, you know, even a reasonable chance to get it to epic. So even for, you know, upgrading anything with these Omega Tech upgrades is a good idea. I think just you get the most bang for your buck if you do it on these low mark weapons, and you utilize the major research boost. This just gives you your best chance to actually crank out those epics. Let's try one more time here on this phaser beam. Come on, come on. Another accuracy. Well, Such is life. Such is the RNG. Now I'm also want to work on I want to work on an actual anti-proton beam set as well, because I don't actually have an anti-proton beam set with pen, so I do want to work on this as well. I'll do one more here just so you can kind of see how things go. Upgrade crit D damage X2. I'll take that. Very good weapon. Let's see if it actually gets all the way to epic or not. Well, it didn't get all the way to epic. So once it's at Mark 8, you could risk using another Omega Tech upgrade here. I can't quite remember how far that gets you. It only gets you a couple more Mark ranks. Maybe up to Mark 10 or 11. I'm not quite sure. It's 29,000. It might only get you 2 more ranks, which, you know... It's hard to say whether it's worth it. Would you almost be better just starting out with another Mark II trying to get it to epic? That is, it's up to you. If you have a, since I actually rolled a good mod on this, it might be worth going the extra way. But such is the RNG. But this RNG, like I said, this is pretty good. I mean, a 40% chance. This RNG is so much better than what you would normally have to do without these Omega Tech upgrades. What did we get? Crit H. Yeah. Again, not the best. But it already went to epic, so... And the funny thing is that since these crafted items are actually bound to account, what I often do is these weapons that don't have perfect mods, I'll usually send these to my alts, and it's actually really handy for them. It helps them a lot, and you know, it still gives them, it's still a good weapon. I mean, even if the mods aren't perfect, you still got the damage 2 pen on there, and it'll still be a really good weapon for your alts. So you get usefulness out of that. So that is my recommendation on how to use those Omega Tech upgrades. And, you know, if you can put up with the RNG, you can end up with a full set of, you know, epic, Mark 14 epic weapons. And it just makes a huge difference. Just trust me on this. I mean, just having all of your weapons at Mark 14 epics is a huge DPS boost. It really is. Yeah, it really is just truly amazing. And so that's my I guess my top recommendation is these Omega Particle Tech upgrades. What you want to use them for is that 4x quality improvement chance. That is the main selling point on these things. And you know, like I say in my tip is to use, I recommend using them on Mark II weapons to get them up to epic quite easily, much more easily than the standard method of trying to dump dozens and dozens of you know, normal upgrades into the weapon for that, just for that small random chance to get the upgrade, and spending thousands and thousands of dill. This is just so much better. But you know, just even if you are, you know, upgrading reputation gear or anything, these are still good for that. Just make sure you're using them for that quality improvement chance, because that's what they're so good. You know, use them for that quality improvement chance to try to get this. These are the upgrades you want to use to try to get something to epic. That's what you want to use these for, not just for leveling something, you know, from Mark 12 to Mark 14 or something like that. Just use regular tech upgrades for that. These are what you want to use when you actually want to improve the quality. All right, everyone, I guess that is it. Get out there and farm as much as you can stand, and get as many of these upgrades as you can, because these are really got me started. Because I actually, when I started playing Star Trek Online a little bit over a year and a half ago, my gear was pretty crappy. When the 5th anniversary event came around, and I got these Omega Tech upgrades, and I found out, you know, this tip for getting relatively easy. I mean, it's still not totally easy. It's still spending quite a bit of dill for each try, but relative to how hard it is to normally get a Mark 14 Epic. This way is so much better, and it really got me out of the gate. This is what got me, from just doing average, run-of-the-mill DPS to actually being in a competitive, high DPS ship, with all these Mark 14 Epics. It was thanks to these Omega Tech upgrades. So definitely avail yourself of this event as much as you can while it's running. Don't burn out. You don't want to burn out on the event, but like I said, at least run it, enough to get at least maybe 1 or 2 Omega Tech upgrades per day. That's a reasonable enough amount where you don't burn out, and you'll really, really thank yourself for it. Once you have, once you have a full array of Mark 14 Epics on your ship, you'll just see a huge performance increase. All right, so that is my tip. Thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully this helped. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Or if you have any other tips for good ways to use Omega Tech upgrades, leave the comments below. And thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.